Good morning. I wanted to take a few moments and go over something called the Rule of 10. We've talked a lot about it in person because of our warm-ups, but since our warm-ups are different virtually, I haven't been able to really mention it. I had you watch a video from Numerock today. It's a silly little video. It's mostly for younger grade levels, but it holds true. Whenever we have a group of 10 in one place value, it bumps it up to the next place value. That's what's called the rule of 10. So let's take a look and see exactly what it looks like. In the rule of 10, we know that if we multiply a number by 10, it increases the number by one place value. This moves the decimal one place to the right. Let's look at some examples. Well, if we multiply 5 times 10, we know the answer is 50. Let's take a look at its place values. When we start, the 5 is in the ones place value, right? Because we know that its decimal is right there. When it ends, the digit 5 moves from the ones to the tens. We now have 0 ones, and our decimal is right there. Did you notice? Look at our decimal. It started right next to the 5, and then it moved one place to the right to make my number bigger. Okay, let's see if it works with 50. 50 times 10 is 500. When I start, my 50 is in the tens, my 5 is in the tens place value, and I have 0 ones. After we multiplied it by 10, don't forget your decimal right there. After we multiplied it by 10, is my 5 still in the tens place value? No, it has moved to the hundreds. And look, my decimal was after the first 0. It was right here. We moved it one place to the right. Let's try one more time. 500 times 10. Well, right now my 5 is in the hundreds. I have 0 tens and 0 ones. Here's my decimal, because we always know that the decimal is just on the other side of the ones. After I multiplied by 10, here's my decimal. Let's put up our place value chart. I have 0 ones, 0 tens, 0 hundreds, and my 5 is now where? In the thousands. So it moved from the hundreds up to the thousands. And look at my decimal. It was right here. It moved one place over to the right. What if we multiplied a number by 100? Well, here we have multiplied 500 times 100. And I know that the answer is 50,000. So let's see how many times the 5 moved. Right now it's in the hundreds. I have 0 tens and 0 ones. Okay, well, let's put our 50,000 in a place value chart. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000. How many places did it move? That's 10,000, by the way. How many place values did the 5 move? Well, he started in the 5, and he moved 1, 2. He moved 2 place values. So I'm going to make my picture go away. What if we multiplied a number by 100? It would move the decimal 2 places to the right. And my digit moves 2 higher place values. Because remember, this is where my decimal was. And he went boop, boop, 2 places to the right. I wanted to point out, how do we know how many places to move? Because we moved 1 place with 10 and 2 places with 100. Well, there's a little way you can tell. How many zeros are in 10? There's 1 0. And how many zeros are in 100? 2. That's a little cheat to help you remember how many place values are you going to move. With 10, we're moving 1 because we have 1 0. With 100, we're moving 2 because we have 2 zeros. How many places would we move if we multiplied a number by 1,000? If you said 3, you're right, because we have 3 zeros. Now, why is this important? The reason I'm talking about this is we have learned for several years that if we multiply a number by 10, all we have to do is add a 0. So if I multiplied 5 times 10, I take my 5 and I add a 0, and I get 50. And that does work for whole numbers. It does not work for decimals. Do you want me to show you? If I had 1/10 and I multiplied by 10, let's just say, well, I know I just add a 0. Look, friends, this is the exact same number. I have done nothing to my 1/10. Right here, it is still 1/10. This just means I have 1/10 and 0 hundredths, which is the exact same as writing just 1/10 without a 0 behind it. So the reason I'm showing you this is because my way of moving a place value up works for any number, whether it's decimals or whole numbers. And I'll show you with my 1/10. Let me erase this really quick. So if I have 1/10 and I multiply it by 10, my rule says we're going to move up a place value. Right now, my 1 is in the tenths, my little th. I have 0 ones. Well, if I multiply by 10, that means my 1 is now in the ones, and I have 0 tenths. Okay? We're going to be talking about this a lot more, but I just wanted to put it out there to have it in your brains. But we'll go over it and over again because I know that it is a very tricky thing to remember.